Peace, family. This is your brother, Mr. Holipsism. Here to review the Godzilla 2014 official trailer. There's been two trailers that was leaked before this, and they were unofficial. If you didn't get a chance to see them when they initially leaked, Warner Brothers took them down. So I managed to see one of them. I saw the first one. I didn't see the second leak trailer. But everybody who knows me knows how much I love Godzilla. And I've been a Godzilla fan since I was a small child. I used to draw Godzilla. I used to have Godzilla action figures. I used to have Godzilla models. I remember those models that they used to have where you can put them together and they had the glow in the dark dorsal fins, the spine. I had that shit. So I'm a big Godzilla fan. Um, I appreciate all the different interpretations of Godzilla except for the 1998 American version. But as you know, with most Godzilla fans, you had the initial birth of Godzilla, which was in 1954, and then you had the phase in Godzilla where they made Godzilla kid friendly, and he was like, doing karate and tag teaming with other, robots and stuff, and it's just crazy. But I appreciate all of them. It was campy, it was fun, and if you're gonna do a Godzilla franchise, you got to embrace all elements of it, and then narrow it down to what you feel Godzilla ultimately should be. And I think that most true kaiju fans um, appreciate the 1954 because Godzilla was a force of nature. Godzilla was a metaphor for everything wrong that man was doing in relationship to nuclear and atomic power, and just um, Godzilla was the metaphor for nature, showing that no matter how powerful man thinks it is, they can't beat nature. And so this one is going back to the roots of what Godzilla is. And the guy who's doing it, his name is Gareth Edwards, and he did a movie called Monster. That if you haven't checked out, you should check it out on Netflix. It should be there. And it was a good movie, and it was about giant monsters. Same thing, as this concept. And the thing that made it impressive was he actually, I think the film cost like half a million, and he did all of the special effects from his home computer. So, and it was good. It looked fantastic. So now he's got a budget, and based on what I'm seeing from this trailer, I'm really impressed with what this movie is potentially going to be. And let me break it down. Like the trailer starts off with soldiers doing a halo jump. And what's impressive to me about this trailer right off the bat is the cinematography. If you look at the shot when the right before the soldiers jump off, or while they're doing the jump, you see how the look and the feel and the tone of the movie is, and it's very like when you look at the shots that they picked to show in this trailer, it almost looks like a Frank Frazetta poster or painting. Like the colors are very dark, very ominous. It's a lot of reds and oranges and dark colors. It's almost like a the word that keeps coming to mind when I think about this trailer is biblical. It looks like Armageddon. Like there's a shot when they come off the plane and they're dropping through the atmosphere. So they're dropping through the clouds, and there's a shot where you see the clouds in the sky connecting to the smoke that's hovering above the city, and it's a really like I said, it's like a Frank Frazetta poster, cinematography wise, and just it just looks breathtaking. And then you see the soldiers going through the smoke at the top of the city, and then when they come down, you see the city basically in ruins and on fire. And that shot definitely looks like a Frazetta poster, a Frazetta artwork. And it looks like Armageddon, like hell on earth. And then there's another interesting shot where the Halo jumper, you see things from the Halo jumper, one of the Halo jumper's perspective, which I'm assuming is the guy from Kick-Ass, Aaron Taylor Hall, I think that's his name. I probably jacked it up, but he's coming down, and as he's coming down, you see the other Halo jumpers because they have this red mist coming down with a light attached to their ankle so you can see them. And you see the red mist coming down, and one of them is right near the head of Godzilla, and you see him looking at Godzilla, the guy from the perspective of the other jumper. You don't really see a clear shot of Godzilla, but you make out the dorsal fins, you make out the head. I mean, the basic structure of Godzilla is there, and that's what got me excited because he looks like Godzilla. Unlike that 1998 aberration that I hate even bringing it up. But that's the thing that I was really hoping for. Fans know that Godzilla's interpretation varies. Like there's been different suits for Godzilla. So we don't expect you to stick to, a specific suit in the past. We expect you to look at the overall design and come up and make something new based on the old design, maintaining the integrity of what we've seen before. Like the perfect example was what Japan did in the Godzilla 2000. It was an updated version of all the other suits we've seen, and in fact, it's my favorite Godzilla suit actually. And that's what we wanted. It's something that's up to date, but at the same time maintains the spirit of what we know Godzilla to be. So when you see it, visually that's Godzilla, but he doesn't have to look like he's looked in the other versions before. So we see that shot of Godzilla. Then we see Bryan Cranston is in this movie. He's the guy from Breaking Bad who played Heisenberg. Aaron, I keep saying I don't know the guy's name. I think it's Aaron Taylor or something. I'm not sure, but he's the guy who plays Kick-Ass. And one of the Olsen twins is in it. I don't know shit about her, but who cares? you know. But then we get to the end, the money shot. First, you see destruction. You see a train smashed in, people. Oh, this is another thing. What lets you know that this movie is going to be more like the 1954 version is when you look at the train crash and you see the debris around it, those are people smashed out on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So this is not the Godzilla versus Megalon Godzilla, where Godzilla is, kid friendly and there to protect the earth. This Godzilla is like the 1954 Godzilla, which is a force of nature and anything in its way gets crushed and stomped, human beings included. So you see that, and then you see a shot of a hole through a building. Um, some people said it looks like Godzilla going through the building, but to me, it looks like the wreckage of his atomic blast because we know the atomic blast is going to be in this movie. He's going to have atomic breath, and that's another thing that's got me excited because how the fuck can you do Godzilla without atomic breath? Which is what the idiots who took over the franchise in '98 and tried to present the American version attempted to do. I, you know, I might have to talk about that in a separate video, but then we get the money shot where you see the destruction, you see clouds and smoke, and then they pan up. You see a figure in the smoke turning around, and you see Godzilla's arm or hand swing around, and then as the camera's going up, you get a really detailed shot of the dorsal fins, the classic dorsal fins, which we're used to seeing, and which in the leak trailer they showed. But this one, the official trailer, is in much more detail. And then they raise up, Godzilla swings around, and then he gives his classic roar. And the roar is fantastic. There's certain benchmarks and points you got to hit if you're going to do Godzilla. You got to get the roar right. He has to have atomic breath. He has to look like previous versions of Godzilla, but just updated. But you got to maintain that look. What made the '98 so jacked up was that the Godzilla in that movie was basically an iguana. Looked nothing like. And when you say Godzilla, the first part of Godzilla is God. When you think of a god, you don't think of a gecko running around. That doesn't make any sense. Godzilla is huge, majestic, you know, intimidating. That's Godzilla. Godzilla doesn't run. Godzilla has no need to run. You should be running from Godzilla. The military included. So that's the thing that impressed me about this. It's like they hit all the marks. Now in this one, they did not show the atomic breath, which I'm glad because this is the first official trailer. The movie comes out in May of 2014, so I'm predicting it's probably going to be two more major trailers. And I think that you need to do what they're doing. Keep Godzilla under wraps. Give them glimpses of him because we have glimpses of Godzilla. We know what he looks like, but you don't want to give away everything in the trailers. A lot of people are complaining. Well, you really didn't see Godzilla, man. Shut the fuck up. You don't know? Don't you know about marketing? You don't put your fucking like if you're playing cards, you don't put your cards and show everybody what's in your hand and then say, okay, let's start playing. You know, so I don't have a problem with them not showing Godzilla. Um, I'm just excited to see what the ultimate design is when we get that full clear shot when we go to the movies, and that's what I want. I want to see him when I'm in the movies, when I'm sitting down in the theater. Um, what else? Oh, they also said that Godzilla's going to be fighting at least one to two other monsters in this movie, which is like, I mean, in the 1954 version, it was only Godzilla. So now they're just adding stuff. And see, that's what the fans want. They want you to take what's already been done, but they want you to update it, but stay true to the spirit of what that thing is. And it seems like Gareth Edwards has the right idea. Um, I'm really excited about this. I usually feel a certain way if I see sense that something is wrong, but I get the sense that this guy is a fan of kaiju films. He's a fan of Godzilla. He's a fan of monster movies, and he seems like he knows what he's doing. And based on everything that I've seen, and the cinematography is really what impressed me about that trailer. Some of them shots are gorgeous, man. When you see the guys falling from the plane with the red mist going behind them, the wide scale shot of the city and the clouds. I mean that stuff and the perspective of the Halo jumper. All of that stuff is fantastic. I know some people are worried because they think that the movie's going to be shot from the perspective like it was in Cloverfield. But I don't think that that's a legitimate concern because if you can look at the film in the way that it is, it's not shot like Cloverfield. That particular shot was needed and I think necessary based on him falling down from the sky. So of course, you're not going to have a steady shot. You're going to show it from the shot or from the perspective. I have no problem with that perspective as long as it's utilized right. And this guy seems to know what he's doing. So that's my review of the Godzilla 2014 trailer. Oh, I also saw it when I went to see the Hobbit movie, Desolation of Smaug or whatever. And so I got to see it in full IMAX glory. And trust me, when Godzilla roars, it's like the people went crazy in the theater. So this is going to be hot. I can't wait to see it. And thank you for listening to my review, and I'll holler at you good people later. Peace.